Hello, and welcome to Parker Family Farm. This morning we're in one of our hoop houses where we grow our tomatoes and cucumbers. I'm hoping to show you how to prune and trellis the tomato plants. First thing we'll talk about is the equipment you need for both the pruning and the trellising, and then I'll show you the actual techniques for getting it done. As far as pruning goes, you really don't need much. If you're doing it properly, you will need scissors, but very rarely. Most of the time you can prune with your fingertips. And I also recommend a pair of gloves. You don't really need these, but if you don't use them, your hands will get very dirty. The tomato plant produces a toxin, which doesn't hurt us, but it's essentially to keep animals from eating the plant itself. And that toxin covers the entire plant. It's what gives the tomato plant that smell you get when you disturb it. Essentially, that is covering the entire plant, and when you touch a tomato plant, you can actually see it disappear because the plant will change color. All that is the toxin leaving and getting on your fingers. Now as you work, if you have a lot of plants, and here we have about 90 to 100 plants, as you work you'll notice your hands will start to change color, especially on the fingers that you're working with, but it'll get all over your entire hand. Essentially what's happening is that chemical is covering your hands. It'll start out as a yellow, pale yellow green color, but by the time you're finished, a lot of plants, they'll be solid black, and it's really difficult to remove. So I recommend gloves. So the first thing you want to do is just take a look at your plant and determine where the main stem is. Now indeterminate plants will send out a lot of side shoots, and what's happening is basically the plant is trying to create fruit, which is what these flowers are going to be, and then also it's producing a lot of growth so it can have a lot of photosynthesis. What we're trying to do is, by pruning and trellising, is essentially put as much effort as we can into the fruit itself to maximize production. So once you've got your main stem picked out, and I'll do another video where I show close-ups of this, I know it's hard to see, what you want to do is prune off your side shoots. Everywhere where you get a lateral branch like this, where it meets the main stem, there'll be a side shoot coming right out of the middle of that connection. So I'll just prune one off. This is a bit big. I've been spending a lot of time mulching, so they've gotten a little ahead of me, but it's not a big deal. The plant will recover no problem. You snip it off with a nice clean cut right where the limb meets the main trunk. And what we want to do is collect these. You don't just leave them around, because that's a good way to spread diseases on your tomatoes. So what I usually do is just make a pile in the center of the row, and then I'll come and collect them afterwards. So basically you pick your main trunk, and then you just get rid of all the side shoots. You want to be very careful when you're doing this. You need a very sharp pair of scissors, and keep your fingers as far from the scissors as possible. I'm speaking from experience. It's not great to cut yourself while you're doing this. So get rid of all the side shoots you can. Take a look, especially on these hybrid cherry tomatoes. These are sun golds, and they are very prolific with their side shoots. Take a look at the bottom of the plant. Sometimes they come right up out of the soil. This one seems okay. So then basically you've got one main stem, and that's all there is to pruning. You just get it down to that single stem and you're all set. As the plant grows later in the season, you'll want to start removing these branches themselves, but not for a while yet, because basically what you want to do is keep the branches off the soil. So then, as far as trellising, what you're going to need is something for the tomato plants to climb. What we use is biodegradable sisal twine. Make sure you get untreated, because then you can go right in your compost, or you can just leave it right in your garden to biodegrade. And I go through about one of these bales every year. We have about 300 tomato plants, and then another 30 to 40 cucumber plants that we trellis through this method. This is obviously that's quite a few plants. If you're doing this in more of a small home garden setting, I recommend something like this. This is called Quick String. I got it from Johnny's Selected Seeds in Waterville, Maine. Basically what it is just a coil of sisal twine inside, and it comes out through the top and has its own blade. It cuts right off. When you're doing a lot of tomato plants, it's a little bit inefficient. So what I use is this and just a utility knife. The other thing that I have is these compostable tomato clips. Essentially what happens is it goes on the sisal twine and then wraps around the tomato plant and clips together. And that just allows it to climb up the sisal twine without having to wrap the tomato plant around the twine itself. The reason I like those instead of wrapping, which I used to do, is a lot of times if you're not careful, you can break the top of your plant off when you're wrapping it around the twine, and then you're set back, especially if you've already just cut off your side shoots. Which reminds me, a lot of times when I'm pruning, I will leave the top side shoot like I've done here. This is the main stem over here, if you can see, and there's another side shoot. I leave the top one just in case that happens when I'm messing around with the plant. If I break off the top one, I can just let this one grow, and that'll be the new main stem. So I think what we'll do now is sign off for a second, and I'll get set up with the trellising, and I'll show you close up how it's done.